this is the reality that you're gonna have to deal with coming with dealing with me. Is that I am no longer going to give you a watered down version. I saw that on somebody's thing. I'm no longer going to give you a watered down version of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give you a socially acceptable version of me. I'm just going to give you the authentic me. And if you can't deal with the authentic me, then that's something that you're going to have to deal with. Not that I have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? My disbelief in your personal, supernatural, moral God does not have to be acquired by you. You don't have to acknowledge that your God doesn't exist. But don't expect me to acknowledge your God exists in order to make you more comfortable about your God belief. If your God belief is so fucking, you know what I'm saying, real, so set, so truth, then you don't need me to validate it. There's an unconscious reality within you, or an unconscious awareness within you that your God is not real. And that you are just making him real in order to make yourself feel more comfortable about the reality in which you're faced with. You don't want to deal with reality. And that's fine. That's cognitive dissonance. You will deny all information, all logical information that denies, that shows the non-existence of your God, and only accept information that supports his existence. That's fine. But don't expect me to go along with it. I ain't going along. This is a crutch. Other than, something that I'm smoking. Don't expect me to have to go along with it. And then secondly, don't have to diminish my viewpoints in order to make your viewpoint seem valid. The structure of this universe and what it's comprised of on a quantum level, an atomic level, on a conscious level, is what it is. Or a dark force level. You know what I'm saying? It's this idea that, you can somehow circumvent the scientific reality, and that's impossible. You can't get around the scientific reality. You can't get around the objective reality of what this reality is based upon. And the fact that I choose to accept it and you choose not to, that's on you. I am not going to look at reality any way other than how it actually is to the best of my ability via this human physiology. That there's going to be conceptualization of this reality, and that's a reality. And there's a cause and effect explanation to why that is. There is nothing that science cannot explain. Just because it hasn't explained it yet, and hasn't explained it to the degree in which you can comprehend it, doesn't mean that science doesn't have an explanation for everything. That's my personal belief. That science has found more explanations for observable phenomenon in nature than any religion or all religions combined. So my theology is science. My religion is reality. My God or my deity is nature. So let's just put it even more so like that. My reality is religion. My religion is reality. My theology is science. And my deity is nature. Now, in relationship to, I was watching Neil deGrasse Tyson, whatever how to pronounce that the order that goes in. Talking about, again, that Bill Nye Western fucking, academic agenda pushed bullshit in which we are all identical based upon, one, oxygen is not an element, it's a fucking goddamn compound. Two, hydrogen, fucking carbon, and I think he says, not niacin, but nitrogen, which is true. The exchange of carbon is really to break down, and that's what carbon does when it's broken down by the 5 elements that constitute organic, that are the basis of any organic life: carbon, sulfur, sulfur, phosphate, niacin, calcium, and there's another two in there too that I'm not mentioning at the time. But all those chemicals break down carbon so that they can better break down nitrogen, oxygen, and hydrogen in relationship to the physiology that gives the physiology the power to keep going. Motion, life's motion are based upon those things. But everything, organic or inorganic, can say that they have those things in common. That doesn't necessarily mean that I am identical to everything in the universe. I am unique in this universe. Being human is something that you can find speciality in, and the diverseness of your humanity is something that you can find your speciality in, because there's no one like you. You are a distinct, unique individual. So this idea that my diversity doesn't make me unique, that only my inclusion makes me unique, is the new agenda of the Western academia in relationship to Black folks having an authentic authentic view of self. That we are just carbon copies of white people. That's not true. We are not just carbon copies of white people, and white people are not just carbon copies of us, and different ethnicities are just not carbon copies of other ethnicities. They're a part of the diverse nature or aspect of nature, that nature seeks diversity. So my specialness is not just, my specialness is found in scientific fact, but just not the arbitrary atomic nature of that fact, that we share certain atomic structures that constitutes, matter. That doesn't fly for me. That's just a variation of Bill Nye's, oh, we're all comprised of this, and then, the Christian, we all bleed red. Well, shit. I believe the same red and the same white undertaking, pink flesh is found when you fucking, put up any mammal in the mix. All mammals have red blood. All mammals give birth to their young. All mammals, produce milk and feed their young through milk. That doesn't mean that I am just like every other mammal. So the nature gave me a specific diversity. It did not make me just a mammal. It made me a human mammal. And being a human mammal makes me distinctly different from every other form of mammal. Just like being an African American human makes me a distinctly different type of human than every other human. My specialty can be found in that distinct diversity. And trying to take that diversity away from people is paramount to narcissism. To diminish, to gaslight that diversity, which is what the Western fucking academic structure is trying to do. Because right now the prevalent culture is white culture. So since the prevalent culture is white culture, there's no need to specify the uniqueness of other cultures. Because white culture is the only culture, or European culture is the only culture that's significant. And let's use European culture and academia as a mean to make it the only significant culture, and that we are all just individuals spawned from the Western scientific theoretical model. Get the fuck out of here. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And putting a black face on it don't make it no better for me. And don't make it motherfucking no more real for me. I'm not going to be lied from the right, and I'm not going to be lied from the left. You're not going to lie to me through science, and you're not going to lie to me through fucking goddamn pseudoscience. You're not going to lie to me through religion. I'm a little bit too smart for that shit. And that's a simplification. And I'm not saying that simplification in which, Dr. Tyson, Professor Tyson is promoting is not based in fact. It's just a simplification of the fact. And it's taking things out of context by not putting in the context of other aspects of our human experience. That our human experience does not just directly derive from our atomic structures, or with Bill Nye, our genetic structures. That it derives from our psychological interactions and our experiences as varying cultures. You can't take that out of the equation. And again, here's Professor Tyson, just like Bill Nye, trying to take those human experiences out of the equation. You can't. They're a part of the equation. Our human interaction is directly a result of our interactions as human beings. And trying to simplify it to our atomic structure is bullshit. It's gaslighting. Thank you. Elton Bowen's on Facebook. OGX Life Speaks on YouTube.